having lunch at a restaurant yesterday in downtown Los Angeles, and I couldn't help but overhear what the two Pinays at the other table were talking about. They were talking about immigration. Immigration obviously still remains to be a hot topic within our community, at meron pong nangyayaring malaki, something that will give us hope sa mga susunod na araw, and that has to do with a nationwide class action lawsuit to reunite families. That seems to be a problem among Filipino families. Nagkakahiwa-hiwalay because of the aging out na tinatawag nila. I was like that. I turned 21 when my family moved here, so I was unable to join them. But today, this is going to be explained to us by attorney Robert Reeves. Hello and welcome to
Hi, thank you for having us again.
And with Jeremiah Johnson. Attorney Jeremiah Johnson is one of the three lawyers that's representing, that has to do with this case. Can you tell us more about that?
Certainly. This is a lawsuit that was filed by Reeves and Associates to unite families for children who had aged out. And after they had aged out, under the law, they're allowed to retain the original priority date. So our firm filed a lawsuit and did it a class action on behalf of all families involved.
This is, you're talking about the Child Status Protection Act, right?
That's correct.
Which was...
The name of the case is the Castillo case, and the reason it came about was they weren't following the law. We were representing at least 100 children that had aged out.
Right.
Now, our results of it was around the country, we've got 1/3 approval. Chicago, New York, Florida, California, San Francisco, Los Angeles. 1/3 of them approved. We were able to convince the local officials that Section 3, which the Immigration Service was ignoring, applied. And 1/3 was approved, 1/3 were denied, and 1/3 they just ignored the application, and it languished there. That was the genesis for filing this lawsuit.
See, that sounds very confusing, but I guess to further explain this before we move on, let's first talk about the Child Status Protection Act. This was signed into law in 2002, but what does it state?
Sure. This lawsuit states a number of things, but relevant to this case is one, that a child's age, they do an age calculation that says they're still a child, they're under 21, and if that calculation does not correct or is not done, they get to retain their parents' original priority date. The visa automatically converts, and it's that automatic conversion that our lawsuit is based on.
Because right now what happens is if you age out and the petition comes in when you're over 21 or 21 and over, you have to drop that date and go back.
Well, it's important. One thing is important to remember. The law was passed on August 6, 2002.
Right.
So if you aged out before that date, and the case was not pending either at the Immigration Service for adjustment of status or at the embassy for the issuance of a visa, you're out of it.
Okay, no hope for you.
It's not protecting everybody.
Okay.
But there are three parts to this bill.
Okay.
The first two parts was passed by the House of Representatives. They were concerned, the House was concerned with the delays of the Immigration Service. So to motivate the Immigration Service, they gave a penalty. The penalty was, if you delayed it a year, you could take a year off the age of the child. So if the child was 22, they could take it to 21.
Right.
But see, then when it went to the Senate was not satisfied that this would keep families together.
Together, right.
The purpose was to keep families together. They said, so if you don't qualify under 1 and 2, we're going to let you use the priority date of the petitioner. So if a brother petitions his sister and they wait 15 to 20 years, it doesn't matter whether they're 15 years older than 21. We want to keep the family together.
And this is supposed to be a good thing for all immigrants,
So what they do is they get the priority date of the original petitioner, the 15-year-old priority date, with a new petition. They have to file a new petition. And then they get that priority date of the new one and brings them to the top of the list.
Exactly.
The Immigration Service's official position in court is they should go to the back of the list.
Oh, so
and wait another 15 years.
This is where the contention strikes.
Right.
But see, the Child Status Protection Act is supposed to be good for immigrants. But what is happening right now is it seems that the USCIS has been recognizing some and not ignoring some, maybe.
That's a very important point. We have one case, one of our lead plaintiffs, where they have a brother and a sister. One was approved, immigrated to the United States,
Right.
and the other ones was denied.
Okay, you see, this
And
is...
there's inconsistent decisions. Just last week, we've got 2 approvals.
Oh,
And
wow.
even at the Board of Immigration Appeals is the Wang case, which just came down, and they said, no, you don't get
Okay.
the earlier priority date. But then the Garcia case, which was decided before that, said, yes, you do get the earlier priority date.
So essentially, if we apply for something, we're not sure if we're going to get approved or not.
Exactly.
And we're not sure where they're going to base their decision on.
And that is one of the reasons why the lawsuit was filed as a class action complaint, is so we can ensure that there's consistency throughout the country. It's nationwide, is that immigration law should be applied consistently, and we're having a federal judge make that order.
And when do you suppose this will be decided on?
The case has been being litigated now for 1 year.
Oh,
You
okay.
know that wheels of justice move slowly,
Right.
but we anticipate that this will be resolved within 6 months. Now, the government, and we intend to win it, and we expect to win it. Now, the government may take an appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and that will add another year, unfortunately.
And of course, for more information about this, you can log on to their website, rreeves.com. And if you want consultation, if you think that you're within that boundary, if you want to know more about this, you may also call them. They do consultation for immigration, and that's the number on the screen. Thank you so much.
One thing before we go, we want everybody to call. If you're in this category, we want to know your case number so that we can represent you too and keep you informed of the status of the case.
Exactly. Thank you so much, and more power to both
Our
of you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Magbabalik pa po ang Kababayan LA. More legal explanations for you when we return. Don't go away.